incomes were so limited that the Mechias Chometz Geld supplemented their
In Europe,
socioeconomic conditions. One of our friends asked regarding Mechias Chometz if she needs to, she wants to know whether pickles, mayonnaise, ketchup, horseradish, v'chadome have to be sold with the chometz, or can she put them in a bag and store them separately in the refrigerator somewhere, or where they would be kept?
a lot of these products have chametz ingredients, yeah, so you have to sell it. You can't just, if you just have kidneys, if you have beans, or if you have corn on the cob, so that's not the chametz, that's only kidneys. Kidneys, the Ashkenaz, we don't need it, but we don't have to sell it. But these products do have some tarubas chametz. They could possibly have a mixture of chametz, and that you have to sell. You know, according to Rabbi Natam, it could be that it's only by Yerah derabban, but still it's going to be a risa by Yerah.
Rabbi Belsky, we come back to issues relating to distributors. I've heard rumors, the questioner wrote us, of Jewish-owned distributors which supply the main grocers across the country with a large percentage of chametz food. Must one be concerned with this when purchasing chametz after Pesach? And if so, could you please provide some guidelines and direction, as it is very hard to know if a certain product was provided to the stores from a Jewish distributor?
There are major distributors of food which are Jewish-owned, and especially in the Northeast, but it's throughout the country. And they sell chametz during Pesach to Goyim, to all kinds of grocery stores. I have an Arab store across the street. Fine people, good neighbors. And throughout Pesach, there's Cresdale and White Rose, Jewish distributors who deliver orders to that store on Pesach. People think that they could go to a non-Jewish store after Pesach and buy for a couple of weeks without being afraid of Chametz Shavuot or Pesach. Only by Jewish stores there's such a fear. But definitely in the New York area, it's Roiv of the distributors are Jewish. The largest distributor of all, CNS, is Cohen. That's what the C stands for. And they're the ones who supply the major stores, Walmart, so on. A lot of that is chametz that's purchased on Pesach.
Could you explain to our listeners what halacha does a distributor have?
Well, the distributor buys from the manufacturer, and everything that the manufacturer sells to him becomes his own personal property. And then he sells to stores, to small stores. There's no way that the storekeeper could buy from Kellogg's their cereal. Kellogg's cereals are sold in rail cars, in dozens of rail cars. They're long trains. It's carried from the factory to the east and to the west. These places can't possibly deal with small stores, but they sell to distributors, and the distributor has huge warehouses, and they in turn have trucks that go to the small stores. This is the way it has to be done. Between the manufacturer and the small retailer, even at the large retailer, there have to be distributors. And the distributors own the product during the time that it comes into their property. They buy it like any buyer, and they sell it like any seller. And if they buy chametz on Pesach, they could make all the shtar mechiras in the world before Pesach. And many of them do. They have very friendly rabbanim who arrange for shtar mechiras with all kinds of lushonos. Whether they're valid or not valid is to be questioned. But look, that's vaday. It's absolutely certain that what they buy on Pesach was not sold to anybody. It becomes their property, and they sell it to the guy, and it's chametz shavuot over Pesach. So the best thing is to buy from Jewish stores who sold their chametz before Pesach and kept it all locked up. B'chol Pachas there was a valid mechira. I've heard that Sonnenfeld in Yerushalayim would get up and announce that there's nothing to be gained by going to the Arab stores and buying from them after Pesach, and causing a hefset to Jewish storekeepers who followed the accepted minhag and sold their chometz and didn't touch it, and to them it was Bal Yiro Bal Yimotze. They had nothing to do with it. It was locked up and out of their interest and out of their property. And why go to a guy who may be buying chometz from Eden? We don't know where he gets his chometz from.
So part of the same question the gentleman asked, given all the confusion about who the distributors are they Jewish or not, and when they receive their chometz, is it better for me to purchase all my chometz needs for after Pesach, before Pesach?